I couldn't find the right button there. All right. Welcome to the Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. My name is John Santucci. Call me Tooch. I got Anthony from Pounded Sports. We're talking NFL. Anthony, good morning, Sunday. How you doing?
Good morning. Good, man. Good. How are you doing?
All right. It was a good day yesterday for Pounded Sports. 8-4. Not bad. Some of the teams games we really liked did not, come to pass. Like Buffalo, heavy favorite at home. They got blown out
Yeah.
by Bowling Green. And then Pitt lost. Ohio State didn't cover. Some of the other games that Georgia covered easily. You had some nice picks with South Alabama and Baylor. Any
The
thoughts on a recap of yesterday?
Yeah, Georgia State under cashed. Liberty minus 36 cashed easy versus UMass.
Wow.
We had Notre Dame for 5 units, Baylor for 5 units. We just lost our 10-unit bomb with
Yep.
Ohio State. Ohio State just couldn't get anything going, couldn't get in a rhythm, and we still ended up going 8-4 plus over 6 units. So, do I wish it was Ohio State would have covered? Hell yeah, but I'll take the plus 6-4 units and move on.
It would have been a phenomenal day if Ohio State had just covered. Penn State played some tough defense and they were able to score against Ohio State. But we've got NFL today, and let's get right into the games. Our first game, we're going to our hometown Bears. They're at home against the 49ers. Bad weather in store. Bears home dog for 4 points. What do you like? Any leans here?
So this is going to be an ugly game. The Bears have no offensive line. The Niners don't. They're a hot mess themselves. But the Bears are getting Hakeem Nicks back. Khalil Mack is still out. That's a huge blow to that defensive line. You got 17 mile-per-hour winds, which is definitely going to affect the throwing in this game, which both teams don't throw that much either way. The Bears are ranked last in offense, the worst offense, thanks to Matt Nagy and the offensive line, not giving Justin Fields any time. This is going to be a snooze fest, a boring. I'm on the under, and I'll take the Bears with the points because even if they lose, it's going to be they're going to lose by 3, or they're going to win this game. It's ugly. It's just ugly game.
Yeah, they've bounced back nicely when they've gotten blown out the week before. They find some resolve. I would lead Bears plus 4 points. I think it'll be close, but I love the under. It's just a very low number. I could see, if all goes as planned, like defense plays some defense and both these offenses struggle, it should cash easily. If the defense for either of these teams scores a touchdown, it's going to be in danger a little bit. But I still would lean the under there. San Francisco 1-5 against the spread their last 6 games. They're sitting at 2-4. The over/under for them is dead even at 3-3. The Bears are 3-4, 3-4 against the spread, and 1-6 to the under. So the Bears do not they don't put up a lot of points, like you said, 32nd in the league. The defenses, San Francisco defense ranked 6th. Justin Fields probably going to have a tough time against that San Francisco defense. Some key injuries, though, the 49ers will be without a couple guys in their defensive line. Javon Kinlaw out, Dee Ford is out, and Maurice Hurst is out, too. So
those are big blows.
Yeah, those are big blows. Javon Kinlaw and Maurice Hurst, who would be his replacement, out. And then Dee Ford, one of their pass rushers. So I think the defense a little bit softer, so that's why I would go lean Bears. Bears, of course, would be without their best defensive player, Khalil Mack. He's out. And like you said, the offensive line, they're just playing guys off the street now. Practice squad players come up and, you're down to second and third stringers. You still have Cody Whitehair and James Daniels. But other than that, you're looking at guys who probably couldn't start on any other teams. So, yeah, to me, the under is the best play on this game. Let's head over to Indianapolis, where the Colts are 2.5-point favorites at home against the Titans. Are you surprised to see the Titans as an underdog? after the way they played the past few games?
It's funny because the Titans just beat two of the best teams, arguably
Not
in the
just beat them.
league. They beat Buffalo, which
Yeah,
they squeaked by that one.
they squeaked by.
They
Yep.
dominated a Kansas City Chiefs team and didn't
Yep.
even allow a touchdown. But those were at home. Now they go on the road.
Yeah.
Where they're dominant at home. 13-4. I'm sorry, on the road. 13-4 in their last 4 road games. And the over is, what was it? 13-2 the last 15 games on the road. But the Colts are driving. The Colts are very good right now.
Yeah.
Playing the Colts against the spread this whole season. And the Colts are playing very well. No one's giving Carson Wentz any credit. All they hear is Carson Wentz. I'll forget about it. Believe it or not, he inherited a playoff team last year. Nobody remembers this.
Yep.
I think the Colts roll. I mean, I'm still not sold on the Titans defense, even though they're ranked one of the best in the league. But that is also because they played the Jets team that they held pretty well, even though they lost.
Yep.
And they held the Chiefs last week. I think
3 points for the Chiefs only in that game, I think, right? 3 points.
3
So, inside the numbers, the Titans' offense is good, ranked 11th. The defense ranked 22nd. The Colts had a great defense last year. They're middle of the pack right now at 15th. Colts' offense is ranked 14th, though, so they can score. Both these teams 5-1 against the spread. Something's going to give here. However, Indianapolis on the season 5-2 against the spread, man. Titans also 5-2 against the spread for the season. But Tennessee 6-14 against the spread their last 20 games against Indianapolis. And when Indianapolis are 14-4 straight up in their last 18 when playing at home against Tennessee. So I'm leaning Colts in this one. I know the Colts have played some teams tough their last few games. They have been playing tough. Carson Wentz may move the ball. They get T.Y. Hilton back today, too. That can only help. He's got someone to throw to. Titans will be without Julio Jones. He's out. And without their middle linebacker, Rashaan Evans, as well. Derrick Henry's fullback that blocks for him, Kari Blasingame, is out too. So I'm leaning Colts in this one, 2.5. I don't think that's too much. I'd take the Colts minus 2.5 here.
See, the thing is, the Colts are not the best team against the run. I mean, you saw that versus the Niners. The Niners ran all over that defense in the first half. Yep. Second half, they stopped them because they made adjustments on the defense. They saw you couldn't pass that much. They made adjustments on defense, but there's no one in the league. I mean, I said it for when they played Buffalo. If the Bills cannot stop Derrick Henry, there's nobody in the league defensively that can stop Derrick Henry. And I think Derrick Henry's going to have another huge day, but it just comes down to Tannehill. Jonathan Taylor's nothing to not write about either. That dude's been a beast. He is the most underrated running back in the league right now. Nobody's talking about Jonathan Taylor. If you watch that Colts versus Niners last Sunday night that we pounded the Colts in multiple ways, Jonathan Taylor had himself a game. So this is going to be an exciting game to watch because it's going to be high scoring. The Titans defense is going to be recognized for sure on how bad they really are. So I like the Colts here. And I think the field goal spot is the right spot. If this line gets to 3, it would not surprise me that both teams, it lands on -3 and finishes -3.
Yeah. Colts 14th in the league against the rush, giving up 111 yards per game. On the other side, Tennessee 9th against the rush, giving up 103 yards. So a pretty even. Both runners will have a chance at 100, but also have a tough sledding. So both these teams can stop the run. As far as the total, where are you leaning? I think it's sitting at 50.5 right now.
I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. 51. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Derrick Henry is going to have a couple touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor is going to have a couple touchdowns. You're going to see long throws to Julio Jones, long throws to Michael Pittman.
Julio Jones is out.
Oh, wow.
He's not playing.
Okay, well, that changes everything. You know what? Hold on. Now I got to So I said this last week or the week before. Every time we cover the Titans, I say this. Julio Jones is a game changer. When he does not play, you're going to see Ryan Tannehill struggle and downfield because A.J. Brown is not a game changer.
He draws a lot of attention.
What is he out now for? Because when he played last week, he was perfectly fine.
Hamstring.
What did he get hurt? Rolling out of bed or something? Come on. This guy is. I've never seen a receiver play a game, no problems, and out the next week without even getting hurt in practice. This guy is soft. I'm telling you, this guy is soft. But he
Even
is
more reason to take the Colts then.
You have to take the Colts. Julio Jones out. Forget about it.
But how about the total then? I might lean under here.
I'm still leaning the over because this is going to be a high 20s, low. Someone's going to be in the 30s. Okay. So if the Colts win this, they're going to have to win this in the low 30s, mid 30s.
I just think both these teams run, and they like to run the ball. The clock might be a factor, draining the clock with long drives. But
the thing is,
it's tough. That number's sharp.
They run the ball, but they're big chunks. So it's no different than just throwing little side passes, small passes.
Both these teams get big chunks of yardage.
So I love 51. I mean, this has it screaming over. I love the over.
All right, you heard it here, man. Yeah. You heard it here. The over Titans Colts. Let's head on to Patriots and Chargers. So Patriots traveled across the country, bringing their rookie quarterback out to face the Chargers. Chargers dead last in the league against the run. You got to expect some running here. The Chargers before the season, I would have thought of the Chargers as an over team, just with Justin Herbert lighting it up, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Austin Eckler putting up points and stuff. But they have been a team that leans to the under. Their defense has not been good, man. Last versus the run, like I said. So do you expect the Patriots to run the ball today, no?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the Bill Belichick offense. That's all he does, run the ball, short passes. He's going to pound. I mean, look what they did to the Jets. From start to the game to the end of the game, no matter what the score was, they pounded that ball inside that defense. They didn't slow down. They didn't hesitate. They just kept the pace going. And it's going to continue today. I think the Patriots, this is a great opportunity to run the ball against this Chargers defense. It might not be so effective in the first quarter, maybe in the second half. You're going to see the Patriots start really wearing down that defense. And the Patriots, man, they got some really good going on. I mean, I'm not saying it just because they blew out the Jets. I mean, that's not hard to do. The Jets are an awful, awful team. But the Patriots, they are healthy now. They're getting the rhythm. Mac Jones is finally – he needed a few games to really get going, get used to the playbook, build a chemistry with his teammates. And you saw in the Dallas game, he played a phenomenal game. And it carried over to the Jets, and it's going to carry over to today. So I'm leaning Patriots plus 4.5. By the way, they're 2-0 against the spread on the road, and the Chargers are 2-1 against the spread at home. So Patriots not the best against the spread team, but on the road, they're 2-0.
Yeah, Mac Jones completing 70% of his passes. They're not going to throw, long all the time. They'll complete some short passes for him and stuff. They did have a 75-yard touchdown pass last week, but that was against the Jets, like you said. But yeah, I like the Patriots to give me 4.5 points. Okay, I'm going to take that. But both these teams fighting for, playoff lives. The Patriots, I would say they're 3-4. They have a chance at a wild card. If they keep playing good football like they're doing. Chargers 4-2. They just have to worry about Las Vegas and winning that division. Otherwise, whoever doesn't come out on top probably going to get that wild card on the other wild card. Chargers got some injuries. Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen both questionable. So that makes me lean towards the Patriots even more. The total, both these teams kind of 4-9 together, 4-9 to the under. The total's at 49.5. I kind of lean towards the under there. What do you feel about the total?
I would lean under. The Chargers are an under team at home. The Patriots are an under team altogether just because of their running game.
Yep.
There's got to be a lot of punts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Chargers. You know that. I love the Chargers. But the NFL is all about momentum. And right now, who's got momentum? The Patriots. The Chargers are kind of like on a downslide. They need to get that momentum going. But Mike Williams is beat up. Like you said, Austin Eckler. Keenan Allen is beat up. They're not 100% solid. When they're 100%, they were unbeatable. I mean, you saw straight out how good they were when they
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. They were dominant. Nobody could touch them. Now
Yep.
they're beat up. I mean, they lost to the Ravens a few weeks ago. Nope, Mike Williams was not a factor. Keenan Allen was beat up. Austin Eckler was beat up. So the Ravens ran all over and destroyed them. I
Yep.
think the Chargers, coming off a bye week, are still beat up. And I don't know the exact number against the spread off a bye week, but they're like 70 to 80% against them. I don't like I said, I don't know the exact number. 70 or 80% against them against the spread. So everything points toward the Patriots, momentum wise, against the spread wise, healthy wise. You just get, I mean, I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I like the Patriots too. I like that under number too. I don't think
I would lean the under. It's a
I would
tougher
lean too.
but
That number's pretty sharp though.
yeah,
You know,
it's
it's
very,
right
very
there.
yeah.
It opened at 47.5. I'll tell you that right now. And people must be playing the over. So I mean, the under would be the way I'm leaning. That line opened at 47.5, which is where the odds makers initially set the total at. You know, being around 47. So I think, you know, 2 extra points there. The under is a smart play there. At least that's what the numbers say. Last game, Buccaneers Saints. You got the Buccaneers on the road at the Saints, and you and I talked before the show about how these teams play each other very tough. You made a very good point that, hey, that was Drew Brees. You know, this is Jameis Winston. Pretty different animal. You know, different team. What are you thinking? Buccaneers minus 4.5. I mean, Brady has looked so sharp. Of course, we watched him slice up the Bears last week. That was an easy game for him.
That was a bye week for Tom Brady.
That was a bye week. That's right.
Exactly. He got touched one time. He got pissed off. And I think I texted you or my brother, and I said, well, they pissed off Tom Brady. Look out now. I mean, half hour later, it was like they were up by 30. I was like, well, like I said, you pissed him off.
Yeah, when it was 35-3, he wanted another touchdown. They settled for a field goal, 38-3. But he would have gone 42-3 against the Bears.
I love the Saints overall, but in this game, this matchup, they just have no offense. It's the Alvin Kamara show. If they don't have, if I read this right, they got Mark Ingram this week from Baltimore, or no, not was it from Baltimore? What either way,
from Houston.
Houston, that's right. I forgot he was in Houston.
Oh boy, he was on Baltimore last year.
So happy that he's out of Houston, but it's the Alvin Kamara show. So I want you to picture the New Orleans Saints without Alvin Kamara. Who do they throw to? What do you do? This team would probably be like the Detroit Lions with a better defense.
So I like the Lions receivers better than the Saints. I'll tell you that right now.
1,000%.
Yeah, Khalif Raymond and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I like those guys.
But you said earlier in the show, on the off air, Bucs get Gronkowski back, and that is the X factor because every stat, every trend, everything says Saints by an overwhelming percentage. And I know a lot of people that are on the Saints just because of that information. But this comes down to being a smart handicapper and a dumb handicapper. That information is misleading. You have to go with Tampa. You buy the half point to -4. You take the -120 juice, and you just, you don't go against Tom Brady. It's 4 points. I'd rather lose with Tom Brady overall than bet the Saints and be kicking myself in the ass saying, why did I fade Tom Brady?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the injuries. Like you said, Antonio Brown is out. They get Gronkowski back. Linebacker Jason Pierre-Paul is questionable. I expect he'll probably play. It's a big game. It's a division game. For the Saints, they've got their guard Andrus Peat out. It's missing one guy on their offensive line. And defensive tackle Christian Roach, a starter on the defensive line. He's questionable. As far as the money, 65% of the bets on the Bucs, 60% of the money on the Saints, though. 57% of the bets on the over, but 69% of the money on the under. That surprises me. Does that surprise you that the under? People are betting the under, right? The Saints are an under team, right?
The Saints are not going to put a lot of points on the board, and their defense is very good. Still, to this day, very underrated.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks last week, they had an 87 or 84-yard bomb in the first quarter, first drive to DK Metcalf. Seahawks were up 7-0.
Yeah.
What was the total amount of yards for the game for the Seahawks? Do you know what that was?
It was just that long pass, basically.
It was
Just-
120. It was
Yeah.
129 yards.
right.
So if you
So, yeah, you got
subtract
54 yards, right?
to 187, they basically had 40 some yards total yardage after that first drive to the end of the game. That's how good their defense is. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Charles Smith is that bad, but the Saints defense is that good. But
Yeah.
now you're going against Tom Brady, so
They
It's
are
a whole-
good. Whole different ball game. And not, I mean, like you said, we could throw out the numbers because that was with Drew Brees. So none of them really matter. If you look at Buccaneers offense ranked number 2 overall in the NFL, and the Saints defense ranked 14th overall. This is the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. So the Saints have got to be focused on the pass because the Buccaneers just don't run the ball that well. I mean, they can run the ball with Leonard Fournette, but I like the under in this game too. Like you said, one really good defensive team, and then another team on the road. I would lean towards the under too. Any other thoughts before we sign off? Actually, we're going to give away a free play, I think, today, right?
yeah, if you want, we can go over that Eagles-Lions. I mean,
Okay.
we're under the 30-minute mark. We try to keep our show under 30 minutes.
Yep.
So,
All right.
but yeah, real quick on the Bucks, I'm going to say Jameis Winston throws an interception today, 1,000%.
Right, against that banged up Tampa Bay
Yes.
secondary. Speaking about pulling guys off the street. But,
Yeah.
All right, so Eagles Lions, another game
Yep.
that I'm interested in wagering on. I like the Lions. I mean, I when a team's 0-7, they really start focusing. They want to get that. They don't want to go winless. Backs against the wall. This is a good. I mean, Eagles are not that good of a team. This is a good spot for the Lions to take. Well, look how hard they played the Rams. Plus 3.5 at home. I
Yep.
kind of like the Lions. How about you?
Yeah, it's up to 3.5, 4. I mean, my book kept switching it back to 3.5, 4. I was able to lock it in at +4, and there's a reason why we're talking about this game. You know
Yeah.
why? The Lions have been getting heartbreaks, week in and week out. They had the Rams pinned down last week. They had the Vikings or the Packers. They had 2 other teams. I don't want to give misleading information. They had 2 other teams pinned down. It was the Vikings. Yeah, one of them was the Vikings. 37. I mean, 2 game-winning, game-losing field goals against the Lions. Less than a minute left in the game. They really should have 2 wins right now, but their defense, the last 30 seconds of the game, blew it. I think if they are gonna win a game, this is the game. Jared Goff he stepped up last week when the coach called him out, and I expect the Lions to come out firing. They're hungry.
Yeah.
This is far the best 0-7 team that probably in NFL history.
Yeah,
Because-
I like it too, man. I like the bet here. I tell you, Miles Sanders out.
Yeah.
That's a big blow. Devontae Smith is coming out off a concussion protocol. That's probably their best receiver.
Yep.
And then you've got both starting safeties of Philadelphia are questionable. Kevon Wallace, Anthony Harris. Right tackle Lane Johnson on the offensive line of the Eagles is questionable. For the Lions, they just have Jamal Williams questionable and Trey Flowers, their pass rush linebacker. He's questionable too. I like the Lions here, man. As far as the total, 58% of the money on the over. It's a low total, 48 points. I think I probably would lean over in this
lean
game.
over.
Yeah,
I would. I think we're
I
gonna see
think-
some trickery again from the Lions.
yeah,
I like the head coach. I don't care what anyone says. I really like their head coach. I wish he was on Chicago. Really do. He's got heart. He's not afraid to say what he wants to say.
yep.
He's not afraid to make these bold calls.
Yeah, and his players are playing hard for him. That's
playing hard.
like the most important thing you can ask for is for you guys to play hard and execute the plays.
That's it.
I'll take the Lions. Yeah, by a half point and take my chances against Philadelphia home. The Lions to get their first win. All right. What do you say we give away a free play? We're getting close to the end of the show. You and I will be back here Monday. Let's get the free play transition. All right, what do we got for today? A record 27, 27, and 2. Wait, how did we do yesterday?
Free 1 plays. And 2 overall. We hit the Houston SMU over.
Okay.
We lost with Buffalo, and we lost with I forgot the other one was. But 1 and 2. So today's free play. Bears under 40. It's gonna be windy conditions. Field goal kickers are gonna be struggling to kick field goals.
I like it.
You got the worst offense versus a really good defense, supposedly, the Niners. This is going to be a snooze fest. Under 40. There's a reason why it's only 40 points. And I do believe it's going to go under 40 by game time.
Yeah.
And Lions plus 4. We just talked about the Lions. This is the main reason that I said we got plenty of time. Let's talk about the Lions real quick. Lions plus 4. Most underrated play of the weekend. Probably the dog of the day, in my opinion.
Oh, we got the dog of the day?
Let's do it. Dog of the day.
The Lions, the barking dog. All right. Nice. Yeah, all right. We got a barking dog. I was able to play the transition for the first time there. All right. So you and I are here tomorrow. We might be here tonight talking Sunday Night Football.
If we do, it's going to be me on the road, probably driving through Georgia and Florida. So I have no problem doing it. I have time driving. I mean,
right. How long of a drive is it?
8 to 9 hours.
Okay.
Here in Alabama.
It'll be me and someone else then. If the office, whoever wants to someone wants to call in and do the show with me, that'd be great. We get a call. All right, so you and I will be here tomorrow, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, talking Monday Night Football, recapping Sunday. We will see you there.
And I'm the team captain. He's the preview, and I'm the main attraction.
Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible. Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible.
Invincible hustle, mighty desire to conspire, to transpire, to be high.